Well, just finished my Loot Crate video. Got my little buddy here, Thor, beside me. He sat through it. Think he's getting a little lonely today. But it's kind of weird. I thought we had the t-shirt's actually a Zoid t-shirt from the Power Rangers. I think they're called Zoids, if I remember correctly. I started watching the episodes because about maybe a year ago I started watching them. About 20 episodes in, I watch one every so often, and it's a decent show. It's a little corny, but the giant rubber suit monsters, that's awesome. I love Godzilla movies and stuff like that. But my brain just went. So yeah, today got to work, and my brain. Sorry, it's one of those things. It's kind of like, what did happen when I got to work? Now, then you think for a second, you're like, oh yeah, that's what happened. But can't really talk about that. Sorry. But yeah, so tried to doing a bunch of stuff today with this issue we're having. Looking through the code, I can't figure it out. I know eventually I will, but I'm afraid just how far I've got to backtrack and correct this issue. It's going to take a little while. And I don't think they understand that it's going to take a little bit longer than they think it's going to take. Because talking to them, they're like, yeah, the original person that wrote it, he dealt with it. The next person that took it over, they didn't have to deal with it. The person after that didn't have to deal with it. Then she quit, or she took another position, and now I'm there less than 2 months, and I got to deal with it. And I'm like, great. How am I going to solve this? I have no idea. So, also, I'm trying to do things. I'm having ODBC connection errors, and I'm just like, what's going on here? So I'm basically, I think the guy, because there's the original guy that did it, he's there right now working on basically adding a new feature into the software, because they didn't realize they were going to hire me, so he's there for like another month maybe, and and the thing is that it's got some issues. It's access front end, and they're doing so much that it shouldn't be in it. I'm like, this is really crazy the way they're doing this. They shouldn't be doing it this way, but they are. So I'm like, okay. Sorry, I know I'm being very vague, but I can't really be more specific than that. Also, like yesterday, I submitted a ticket for some stuff that was going on at the other location I work, and it took them for a while, and they sent a ticket back today. Well, I'm not there, so I can't do it. So I had to forward that email to my boss. I was like, yeah, see if he'll want to, so that he can take care of it instead of having me wait until me do it Monday when I get back there. My watch is a little too tight. But yeah, today I went to Half Price Books, and they had this card game there. And I was looking at it, and I was like, it's a brand new card game. And I think the lights are a little bit too bright for Thor. I was like, this, and I'm like, this is not the right price on this. The price on this is $3.99. And I'm pretty sure it should be around like $20. I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, the stickers, new game, the stickers, everything. I was like, okay, maybe it's nobody. Maybe it's come from another store or something. Nobody wanted it there, so I was like, well, I'll take it. $3.99. I don't care if the game's bad. If it gives me a little bit, a few hours, of like an hour or two playing, it'd be great. I'm kind of weird that way. If I look at something that's really cheap, I'm like, it's $5. I mean, if it gives me a few hours of enjoyment, then it's worth the $5, even if I never play it again. Because it's like, all right, perfect example. I bought this. It's still, as you can see, it's still closed because I bought 2 of them. I didn't realize I think it's the same decks from each of them. I thought the decks were a little bit different in each. But what I did, I bought this, is they had them on clearance for, I think it was $5 actually. So I got two, my friends got one, and I opened the other one I have open somewhere on my shelf, and he opened it, and we was like, wow, it's a pretty cool game. We didn't stick with it because it's a collectible card game, and I don't think it's made anymore. And Thor, why are you over sniffing around? Come here. Thor. I don't trust my dog. You better not come up here and pee, boy. But we played it. It gave us a few hours of fun. And I'm like, for $5, it was very much worth it. I mean, you can't get a DVD for $5 now. Take it back. You can get some DVDs for $5. But generally that we spent more time with that game and laughing and goofing off than we would have with a movie. So yeah, that's my philosophy. If I see it, it's really cheap, I'll get it. Now, I'm trying to think if I ever bought something that cheap and been like, they should have paid me to play this. I bought a few games that I have for really cheap, like $2 and $3, that I've never played. Where are they? Okay, yeah, there's these ones called Dante's Inferno, Cthulhu Rising, Innsmouth Escape, and I think there's another one on my shelf somewhere. I was at Gen Con, and evidently this was a designer that used to work at this company, and I think he left, and they had a bunch of overstock of his stuff, so they just basically, they were clearancing it out, and it was like $2-3 each, and I bought one of every game they had, and teased me off. There's another game I wanted that they were selling, but this girl, she was like, oh, I want to buy 3 of that game. And the guy was like, 3? And she was like, yeah, I want to have one to open, have one to put on my shelf, and then one to keep if I want to sell it. And I was like, great. And he was like, well, we only have 2. So she bought both of them. And I was like, oh, that could have been me. Why does she have to buy 2? Why does she have to buy all of them? But doesn't matter. I haven't played the other ones either. And looking at the components, they don't look like the greatest games. But for $2, I mean, if it gives me 30 minutes of fun, I'll enjoy it. But I'm afraid those are going to be some I'm like, $2 was too expensive. I mean, maybe I could take the components and make another board game, or kind of fill in, like if there's a board game I buy that might be missing something, I might be able to do that. I don't know. But anyways, I actually found a pen and paper, oh no, not pen and paper, print and play solo get board game that's actually really fun. It's called 30 Rails, like the number 30 and then rails, like railroad tracks. And what it is a train game. And it's actually pretty fun. I was like, wow, this has got a little bit of strategy to it for a little tiny free print and play game. And it's a solo one. Basically, you have 2 dice. You need the sheet that you print out, or if you have like grid paper, you can draw it out if you really want to, and a pen. And I'm like, that's friggin' awesome. And you draw out these. You basically put these not bases, but what would you call them? Can't even think right now. Stations. There we are. That's the term I was looking for. You basically have 4 stations. What you're trying to do is connect all 4 of the stations. And depending on how you connect, you get points, stuff like that. I was like, this is actually a pretty good game. I mean, something you could take on an airplane and play. I mean, something like this is a little big. I mean, this is a solo game, and it's got a bunch of pieces to it. You got the books and everything. That one, it's just literally a sheet of paper, 2 dice, and your pencil or pen, whatever you want to write with. So I played it today on lunch, and I was like, that's actually a pretty good game. So if you want to try it out, you can go to Board Game Geek or just look up 30 Rails. I'm pretty sure I give you a link to it pretty quickly. But yeah, I'm not affiliated with them either. I'm not advertising for them. It's just I found something cool. Thought I'd let you know. If you like board games, that is. If you don't, then you're probably like, sitting there doing my vlog, and I hear my camera, when it turns off, it does this little click. It was like, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, crap, my card's full. So I had to stop recording, just pulled up my cell phone and started finishing up my vlog now. But I was saying, Adrian loves tomatoes. I hate tomatoes. I can't stand them. More of a texture thing than taste. I just don't like. They seem slimy and just yeah. But anyways, oh yeah, we get these like little baby grape tomatoes or cherry tomatoes, whatever they're called. We cut those up, and he will like eat a crap ton of them. Now it's gotten to the point to where he doesn't want to eat dinner. He wants to eat tomatoes. So we're like, all right, let's see, what else can we? So we're giving him yogurt and peanut butter and stuff like that to kind of help get some other vitamins and stuff and nutrients. But gosh, all he wants to do is eat tomatoes. And like it's like, okay, like he loves spaghetti. It's to the point now to where he doesn't even want to eat the spaghetti. He only wants tomatoes. So we're trying to make it to we have to keep the cherry tomatoes out of sight to where he can't see them. Because he sees them, he whines and cries. He won't eat anything until he gets them. So basically, we hide them. It's kind of like my son likes tomatoes. Ugh. Never liked. I don't know. It's kind of weird. There's certain foods I just don't like. Like I don't like green beans or spinach or broccoli or cauliflower. Everybody's like, so you don't like anything that's good for you? And I'm like, pretty much. No, I like lettuce. I like carrots and potatoes and radishes. I like root vegetables. I do. I mean, my dad grew a garden growing up. But yeah, green beans and peas and all that just, yeah. To me, they're horrible. Remember, I might have told this story before, but one time we went to like one of those like Wild Oats, Whole Foods, Trader Joe, like natural same stores. They had this, they make food and everything in the back. So we got this different things, and this one thing I can't remember what it was. Had broccoli in it. Had onions and broccoli and everything. And my wife loved it. My friend and his wife loved it. And she was like, my friend's wife was like, you should try it. Maybe you just don't like broccoli from when you were a little kid or something. I was like, all right, I'll try it. I took a bite, and it almost made me gag. I was like, that is the worst stuff I have ever had in my entire life. And they were all like, really? And I was like, yeah, I cannot. That is just horrible. And I just can't stand it. But but Adrian, he did like green beans. Now you give him green beans, he's kind of like he doesn't really want to eat them. But we're trying to. There's something that's kind of funny. I was talking to the lady I work with, and I was like, yeah, Adrian's never had candy. He's never had ice cream or any of that stuff. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. Well, I take it back. He's had his birthday cake. He's had that. And he's had some fast food. I'm not saying he hasn't had junk food, like junkish type food. But he's never had just like any type of like just pure sugar candy. And it's not like, oh, we're trying to keep candy from him. No, it's just, I know how Adrian is. If I feed him candy, he won't want anything but candy. So I'm trying to hold that off as long as possible. I know this lady I used to work with, she'd be like, yeah, she had 2 daughters, and she'd be like, yeah, my daughters think that graham crackers are sweets.
And I was like, wow. So yeah, so that's how I'm trying to make it to where go as long as I can without having him have candy, so that he can't just go, oh, this is what I want. That's the only thing I want. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's going to backfire on me. One day he might get it and be like, oh my God, why haven't you ever given me this before? He might be mad at me, but I still haven't, like, I've seen so many parents, like videos of parents online, they cut a lemon in half and give it to their kid and let them bite on it and make this face and see if they bite it again. I haven't done that. I don't think Adrian's ever had anything really sour, like a lemon or anything. I might try that. But he's to the point where he kind of, he might not eat it, but he does love oranges. And he might think it's an orange. I don't know if I want to do it because I don't want to ruin his love of oranges. He might be like a little hesitant to eat them in the future. I don't know, I'm still going to try it. I think it's funny when the faces and everything. Adrian, I expect him to probably just to try it once and make a face and go like, I don't think he'll do a second bite like most kids. Like you see the videos, kid take a bite, make a face, and take another bite. But we'll see. But I'm getting off here now. Hope you had a good day. Mine's pretty good. My brain was like, oh, talk about this, and it just went shh and left me. I'll think about it and I'll put it in tomorrow's vlog. But talk to you tomorrow.